Hey there, good morning. Welcome to Monday morning. Monday morning mobility. Mondays are usually all about getting ready for an amazing week of training, right? Today we're going to do no less than that. We're going to get ready to pick up where we left off. The most important thing to note is that in the triathlon world, this weekend was the Ironman 70.3 World Championships in St. George, Utah. What an amazing day it was, and now it's time to get back to work. So give me a thumbs up. I always like to do that early. Let me know that you can hear me okay. Yeah, happy Monday. Good morning, Layla. So I always like to get here a little bit early. We usually foam roll. In my world, if you're not early, you're late. So hopefully all of you that raced this weekend in St. George, there's races all over the world right now. I think we're kind of figuring out how to make this all happen. Everybody looks good. Okay, right on. So I wish I had a big screen and I could see and I could speak directly to you. But just know that when you leave comments, I will answer throughout the day. If you have specific questions or anything about what we do today and how it might impact your training and racing, do not hesitate even a second to ask me a question. My intellectual property is your internet intellectual property. I want to share what I have learned, what I know, and how I know that it works. So how do I know that it works? I don't know. We're winning. We're getting personal bests. Winning is always great, but winning is really specific to who we are and what does winning mean to us, right? So this weekend, I had some beautiful performances from my professional athletes in the World Championships. And what was beautiful about the pros was they really had the opportunity to go up against the world's best. This was not an American championship at all for the professionals. They definitely spent a little bit of time up against the best in the world: Daniela Reef, Holly Lawrence, Ellie Salthouse. But I'm super, super proud of being the strength coach to 3 out of the top 5 women in the world right now in 70.3. Both Taylor Knibb, Jeannie Seymour, Emma Pallant-Brown. I couldn't be more proud to make a positive impact in their worlds. I also want to share a new athlete with you that I've started working with from Brazil, Pamela Oliveira, who is super happy with where she came. She had a very, very good day out there. Most importantly, she's part of this process of change and bringing us into maybe a new level of performance. So we really have done some adjusting for Pamela, and I'm excited to be part of her future. My other new athlete that had a beautiful, beautiful day was Lagerstrom. Maybe some of you guys watched the Eric and Paula show. I have just re-engaged with Paula. Anybody that's had any of my programs recognize that my earlier sessions with athletes, Paula was one of my first pros. So I'm super, super excited to have her back on the ECFIT journey. And she's brought us Eric. And so Eric had a top 10. I believe he was 7th yesterday in the world, again, against the best athletes in the world. So today, the session is really for all of us. It's about coming back to a place from a really brilliant weekend of hard work in endurance sports. We're still 3 or 4 minutes away. So let's just take a second, pay a little bit of attention to the lower legs. And, the one thing is, I'm going to show up for you guys every Monday. So just so you know, this isn't temporary. I think one of the keys, your mind might be blown by how you feel throughout your training week, but your mind's not going to be blown from what I put you through. The key to success here is going to be showing up and doing the work, doing the little things that make the big things easier. And that might be a good quote, doing the little things that make the big things easier. That's what we're after. So if we take care of our bodies, every one of my athletes will do this session today, even though they've traveled. Some of them might be traveling today, which means that they'll be doing this session later in the day. But that's the beauty of YouTube, is that we can do that. So we're going to focus on the connective tissue. We're not going to get into the belly of the muscle. If you're new to ECFIT, just know that we save the belly of the muscle work for different modalities other than the foam roller. So we're right below the calf muscle, working, we're rolling that leg side to side. If the foot indicates the hands of a clock, we're going from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock and just rolling across the lower part of the leg. Working all the connective tissue, and then inferior and inside or below the gastroc is all that soleus, posterior tib, and those guys can light up and cause problems later. So we want to make sure that they have space to glide and that we have mobility and movement in the foot and the ankle. The foot is amazing, the way that it can spread out every single time you take a step and work as a shock absorber. So we train barefoot most of the time. If I was training Jeannie today or Taylor or Emma, I might have them wear their shoes today just based on the effort that they put down on Saturday. Is that Saturday? 2 days ago. Yeah, it wasn't yesterday. Okay, so work through the lower leg. Kind of start paying attention. If those of you that keep a training diary, if your lower leg is a little bit lit up, a little bit spicy, as we say, then we really want to make sure that you're making a note of that, and then look back at what you did this weekend to make it spicy. What did you do to your tissue? Maybe you missed a little bit of hydration. Maybe you didn't do as good a job on your nutrition. Maybe you didn't sleep well. Maybe your heart rate variability is a little bit lower than usual. Pay attention to all of these indicators that'll help tell you how things are going. Okay, so we're working through the lower leg. I think we're at 6:45 here. The Garmin on the wall says. So let's get going. If I'm a little dark, sorry, I'm kind of working through some tech issues, and we're working to make things better and better every single week. But right now we're working lower body, and we're working posterior side of the body. That's the back side. And we're working right below the calf muscle. Doing a little bit of foam rolling there. The next foam rolling space we're going to spend time on is going to be from here to here, the anterior hip. A lot of people like to blame the psoas muscle for why their hip flexors are tight or whatever. I tend to be nice to the psoas muscle. I think if we're nicer to muscles and we maintain a real positive attitude and a positive mental mind state around muscle and tissue, that it will serve us even better. So just know that, if you've got a little cranky muscle, he's just cranky. Be nice to him. So psoas is definitely part of the anterior hip capsule, but there's a lot more going in there other than him. So right now we're kind of lateral and anterior lateral part of the hip, and we are above the quad. And as you go closer down into the belly of the quadriceps group, you're going to find more spice, a little bit more discomfort. Now think about it. Stay where you are. But I want you to think about it. If you were spicy, if you were in a bad mood and somebody pushed on you, what would you do? You would push back. So I don't think pain and getting a pain response from foam rolling will ever help a muscle relax. Would you? I wouldn't. So let's just stay out of that, right? Let's use the foam roller around that connective tissue, around the bone. Now let's go ahead and hit that right side hip bone. And I want you to drag your skin across the hip bone. This is osteofascia. This is bone and fascia. There's not a lot of muscles there on the bone. If you went more posterior, we'd get into that TFL. which can be really lit up a lot. So we want to make sure we give the TFL, if he hurts or if he's spicy, give him a chance. Give him a chance to come around. Don't crush him, right? All right, let's hit the other side. Anterior lateral side of the hip. And just move side to side. Move through that hip. Find your rhythm of just foam rolling for yourself. I'll put you through it on Mondays. Make sure you do it. Does this mean you should over foam roll? No. This is not a situation where if some is good, more must be better. Some of you are way over foam rolling. Okay, get onto that anterior part of the hip bone. Drag it across. Make sure you're getting that gliding moving. Good. Let's move into that TFL, which is very lateral. I don't know about you, but in my day, we had Adidas pants and we all had stripes down the side. That's kind of where you're rolling. And if you had a pair of Adidas pants on and you had stripes, you'd be rolling on them. So very lateral here. Okay, good. Next thing, I don't know about you, but I drove all day yesterday. So driving and typing, sometimes even just riding your road bikes. For those of you that had the chance to ride yesterday, let's get that thoracic spine a little bit more mobile. So we're working through, what I want you to do is get the foam roller right below the shoulder blades so that your shoulder blades can still glide around. So let's go right below the shoulder blades and just gently, I want you to hold onto your head, support your neck. Good. I had a little bit of a sore neck from driving, but I also have a ponytail, so I was realizing we're going to talk a little bit about that forward head position in just a second. But the ponytail pushes my head forward from the back of my seat that I'm driving in, and it really put my head in a crappy position. So it's one of those positions. I'm slowly moving down on the foam roller. The foam roller is going more towards my neck, and we're just working through that thoracic spine. A thoracic spine is anything that the ribs attach to. So let's just keep the elbows really lateral, guys, and just toggle, just kind of side to side. See if you can get one elbow to the foam roller, then the other one, and toggle, 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 toggle. Move a little bit, toggle, 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 toggle. Good, keep supporting the head, and toggle, 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 toggle. Now, because my SCM, so this muscle right here, this big muscle that goes from your, basically by your ear, all the way down to your clavicle, that can absolutely affect posture. So as I was driving, my head was pushed into that position. So I don't really want to foam roll that. I might use my fingers, and that's one of the things also. Let's go ahead, take 2 fingers. This is going to work as a foam roller for you. Just go right behind your ears. You'll feel that base of your skull. And from right there, you might find that that's a little spicy. And that's going to pull your head into that forward position. So let's just work through that joint right there, through that attachment of your sternocleidomastoid group. So we're just working through there, through the head. And then we're also going to work down into that clavicle where you feel it attach. So it's this big muscle right here. Let's go ahead and work through the clavicle with your fingertips. I'm spicy there. I can feel it. So there's no way you can foam roll this joint, right? This is a joint. Oh. And you can take that right down into your sternum and do a little bit of osteofascial release there as well. So work through the clavicle and work through the sternum and get some tissue gliding there. All right? So what we're going to do next is let's go ahead, put the foam roller to the side for a minute. Don't put it too far because we will come back to it. And what we want to do next is put the back of your head on the ground. We're going to get into this supine decompression breathing position. So I want your knees together. I want your toes together. And then I want your heels about 3 to 4 inches apart. So knees together, toes together, heels apart. Get used to that. I use it a lot. This is your anchor. You will use this as an anchor when you're riding your bike to keep your knees close to the top tube. You will use it as an anchor when you run, especially when you run downhill. The stronger your anchor, the better. So knees together, toes together, heels apart. From right here, I'm not too concerned about your low back at this point, but I want your palms face up so the backs of your hands are on the ground. I want your head on the ground. We are going to go through a body scan really quick of pushing into the ground. So the first thing I want you to do is push your head into the ground. It's not going to move. We're going to get an isometric contraction of the neck muscles. So go ahead and push the head into the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then just relax. Next thing I want you to do, put your hands face forward, thumbs facing out, push your shoulder blades and your shoulders straight down into the ground. 5, 4, keep your anchor strong. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Next thing we're going to do is push the backs of the hands into the ground. Ready? Push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Next thing we're going to do is push your tailbone directly into the ground. Ready? Push it into the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Awesome. Last thing we're going to push onto the ground in this set will be the heels. So everybody else is relaxed. Keep your head relaxed, your shoulders relaxed, your backs of your hands relaxed, your pelvis relaxed. Push through your heels. Ready, set, push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and shake that out. Take your anchor and release the anchor. Shake the whole body. Just kind of waggle around. Good. Next thing we're going to do, let's set that anchor again. Knees not too high, only about 8 to 10 inches off the ground. Toes together, heels apart. Backs of the hands on the ground, heads on the ground. Ready? We're going to go the whole upper extremity. So we're going the backs of the hands, the shoulders, and the head. Ready? Push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. What you might have noticed is it took you a second. How do I get my shoulders in the game here? Don't stress out. Just keep finding it, okay? Backs of the hands to the ground. Let's do the upper body extremity again. The upper extremity. Ready? We're going backs of the hands, shoulders, and head. Push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. Perfect. Okay, next one. We're going to push the sacrum, which is the big base of the spine that goes right into those sacroiliac joints, and the heels. So the upper body stays still but in position. Ready? And you're pushing heels and sacrum. Heels and sacrum. Find it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Shake that out. Let the knees come down. Just relax everything. Shake it out. Let your nervous system, this is just your nervous system's going blah, 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 blah right now. Just let it all happen. Okay, set the anchor. Knees together, toes together, heels apart. I told you we're going to hear that a lot. Ready? Backs of the hands, thumbs to the outside. Everybody's going together now. The heels, the sacrum, the backs of the hands, the back of the rib cage and the shoulders and the back of the head. Ready? Everybody, push into the ground. 5, 4, push your sacrum. That's a tough one. 3, get your head going. 2, 1, and release. Good job. Let's take that right into a full kneeling position. So full kneeling position, you're going to be on 2 knees. Right here, let's go feet just outside of the knees. This is another big concept for us, is to understand that gravity and ground is going to pull your hips to the outside. We want to pull it all back. That's the position of strength. We want strength. Everything's coming in and strong. So when we put our feet on the back side, just outside of the knees, then we put ourselves into hip internal rotation. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a side view. We've got our hips a little bit to the back. So be careful you're not just looking over the cliff. Push your hips back just a little bit, okay? So from right there, hips are back about 3 inches. Feet are outside of the knees. From right here, we're going to breathe. This is from foundation training. Put your thumbs on your bottom rib. Expand your rib cage. You can see how lateral my elbows are. You want to be wide. You want to be big. We want to expand the rib cage. Right? Ready? Thumbs to the bottom rib. Pinkies on the hip bones. Hips are in internal rotation. Let's go 5 big breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Expand the rib cage laterally. Think about breathing into your lats. Ready? Pull your chin back, chest up. Put yourself into that better head position. Ready? Big breath. 2 more big breaths. 1 more big breath. And shake that out. Good. So let's get a foam roller. You can use a ball. This is a trigger point ball. It's a nice little size ball. I've also got a nice trigger point foam roller. The official ECFIT foam rollers are roll recovery, though. If you go to the website, you can get a little bit of a discount on the roll recovery. So I'm going to use them today. But I just want to make a point that you don't have to have anything specific, right? If you have foam rollers or you have trigger point balls, you're going to be in good shape for everything we do, right? Okay, so what we want to do is we're going to work that adductor group. We're going to work our anchor. We're also going to work a little bit of glute activation. But first, let's now go into the knees about 12 inches off the ground. And what I want to focus on now is pubic bone, which is a joint, the pubic symphysis. I want you to pull the pubic bone towards your belly button. That's going to cause your low back to flatten, and that's going to put you into a neutral pelvic position. So, foam roller between the knees. There's about 6 to 8 inches between my knees right now. My head is on the ground. We want to squeeze the foam roller and go ahead and pull the pubic bone towards the belly button. Activate your pelvic floor. Squeeze your knees. And give me 5 big breaths. Keep that contraction on. Switch it on and breathe into it. You can use your measuring sticks. You want to keep space between your ribs and your hips. Switch on. Keep holding. One more big breath. Good. From right there, let's go ahead and stand up. Another vital piece of equipment that we will use and that you need to have is a mini band. They typically come in a group of 5 mini bands, sometimes 3, all different layers of resistance. This one that I want you to have today, if 1 is the easiest, this would be number 2. At the most, it would be number 3. So let's go ahead and put that band right above your knees. So above your knees, is that a little bit easier or a little bit harder? It depends what you're trying to find, right? So some people are like, well, that's too easy. Why isn't that? That isn't hurting anything. That's okay if it doesn't hurt anything. There are big muscles and there are small muscles. It's not that difficult to find a lot of exercises that challenge the big muscles. I got to tell you, it's the little ones that are a pain in the ass, that start to get injured and that underperform, and that might limit how you're coming together as an athlete. All we're going to do is glide to the right, and as we do that, we want to keep this knee directly under the right shoulder, keep this knee directly under the left shoulder. So we've got a little bit of resistance there, not much, and all we're doing is just some gentle gliding. I'm going to give you a little side view. I want your hips behind your heels. And we're just gliding to the right, gliding to the left. Don't externally rotate your knees. Don't pull your knees to the outside. Keep them directly under. We're going to go 20. 1, 2. Keep the knees directly under you. We would call that anchoring. 3, 4, 5. Keep them in. 6. Take a look at your feet. They should be in just a little bit. We should have squared up lateral part of the feet. That's it. Keep going. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let that band come all the way down so it's on the top and the bottom of your feet. From right here, you're going to balance yourself. You can use a wall, you can use a countertop, you can use the back of a chair. You have to balance yourself. If you're using your right hand to balance, I want you to lift your right knee as high as you can. So the mini band is causing a little bit of a switch on of the glute activation. I'm lifting my right knee, but ironically, I feel that mostly in my left, right? Comes right back up. Stay posture strong. Head has to be in a really good position. Hold on to the wall. Ready? Right knee. 1. We're going to go 10 of these. 2, 3, 4. Keep your chest up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. And 10. If you can see my feet or my knee, you're going to see that if you've got too much resistance on your band, your knee is only going to go part way. Want that knee above parallel. Okay, so on the knee drive, got left hand on the wall. Big posture, head is in a great position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, chest up. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, we're sticking with the mini band. Let's take that mini band, put it all the way back up around the knees. And from right there, instead of gliding, which we were just gliding, we're going to add a step. So hold the posture super strong, the shoulders and the hips function as one. Drive the hips to the back just a little bit. We're going lateral step and back. I'm starting to feel my SI joint move. So from right here, stay strong, butt to the back, lateral step. We got 15. If it feels too long or you feel vulnerable, take a shorter step, right? This isn't exercise. This is Mobility Monday. This is getting ready to train. Okay, hands on the hips. 1, 2, the knee stays in. Right here, this is probably the most important thing. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going 15, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Good. And 15. Step to the other side. So I get to be 6 feet tall again. We're going to have about a level change of about 6 to 8 inches. Drop down. Stay nice and relaxed. Stepping to the left 15 times. Ready? 1. I'm keeping my upper body a little bit on lockdown. That's why my hands are on the hips. Oh, here comes the birthday boy. Those of you that know Deacon, today is his birthday. He has to go to school today. He doesn't get to come to rally sport. He's a pandemic dog, so I have a boxer, turns 9 today, my running partner, 11 or so, 12, 13, 14, one more, and 15. All right, awesome. Next thing we're going to do is take the mini band, same light one we've got going, and I want you to rock it around your thumb. And then I want you to hold it like it's a bow and arrow. So from right here, we've got 2 fingers in the foam roller, the right hand, the elbow is high, take a nice big breath, and we're just gonna pull it like a bow and arrow all the way back. So I want you to keep your head on your lead thumb. So your eyes are on your lead thumb. Elbow is really high above the rib cage. And we're just going to give that a pull 15 times. 3, 4, eyes on the thumb. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Elbow up. 13, 14, 15. And we switch sides. So you can see hips are square to the screen. I turn to the right. I've got my right thumb. 2 fingers are my left hand. Looking down at the right thumb. Elbows high. 1, 2, 3, 15 times. 4, keep it all high. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, good. So we put a little bit of tension. Adding load into the mobility session is going to fire up a few more muscles. And the more the muscles hold and the stronger the muscles are within the movement, the easier the performance is going to be. So if you want to be running and you want to be holding really big posture, then you better be strong on the backside of your body, right? And we're not here to just move well. We're here to maintain that movement. So let's get the foam roller. We're going to keep the legs moving really, really well. But the first thing we want to do, the next thing here, is we want to set an anchor. So grab your foam roller. I'm grabbing my roll recovery. And we're going to go ahead and put your toes about 1 inch apart, but they're together. They're facing together. Your heels are going to be 2 inches apart. So toes 1 inch, heels 2 inches, knees 1 inch. So your knees are diving in. The next thing we're going to do, keep the anchor strong, and we're going to head wrap with that foam roller. And as we head wrap to the right here, I start feeling my lats. Right here, I start feeling the front side, my diaphragm, the area right under my ribs, and all the way back around. So knees in, head wrap. 3, we're going to the left. 4, keep your anchor strong. If your hips want to toggle a little bit side to side, that's okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, good, and 10. Keep the anchor strong. We're going the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, keep it going. 6, hips are to the back just a little bit. There's a little bit of a break in our hips. 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. Next thing we're going to do, and you'll see me use this half kneeling position a lot. We're going to go down onto one knee. If this was 12 o'clock, this is 3 o'clock, so my hips are really open. Let's take it to about 2:30. So the knee is definitely not at 12 o'clock. It's a little bit out to the side. From right here, we're just going to put hands on the heart, and we're just going to push this knee, this left knee, over the left ankle. So right here, we're just going to come knee over ankle. It's okay. And just come in and out of that. Chest stays nice and square to the screen. This knee, if you have a tight adductor, which most of you will, your knee will dive in. Sometimes we like, if you've got your left leg here, keep your left hand on the inside of your knee and keep it so it's a nice straight line. Just so the knee dives directly over the first and second toe. First toe will be the big toe. Good. Take that right through. Take that right through. Take that right through. So in the comments, for those of you that did watch the World Championship, Who was your favorite performance? I mean, include Lucy Charles, include Gustav Eden. I got to tell you, I've never seen those guys race in person like that close, because on the course in St. George, you could get right next to the athletes, and it was amazing to see them. Gustav Eden is one of the most beautiful athletes I've ever seen. So make a comment and tell me. But my favorite performances was the battle between Jeannie Seymour and Taylor Knibb. I freaking loved watching those two go at it. It was really, really great. They are best of friends. They're training partners. Right leg is going, right knee is over top, right toe. And the other battle I really enjoyed watching was Ben Canute and Eric Lagerstrom. They really raced well together as well. So it's always good to have familiarity out on the course and see what's happening around you, for sure. So, and then of course, some of my favorite teams, Train Smart with Susan Kitchen and her team. Try Marnie, you guys are amazing. Oh my God, so well represented at a world championship race. From right here, we're gonna take the foam roller at chest height, right? Sometimes we'll be at hip height. Sometimes we'll be overhead. Right now, we're at chest height, and as the left knee staying lateral over the left foot, we rotate back to the right. Let's go 10 of these. 1, 2, good. 3, head stays forward on the screen. 4, thoracic spine rotating. 5, some of you guys, you're gonna turn. You're gonna wanna turn and watch the foam roller. Don't do that. 8, 9, and 10. When you don't limit your range of motion by your head position, you can actually over-rotate from a performance standpoint. Mobility is good, but we're after performance mobility more than anything. We want to be able to give you tools that you can translate to sport and the things you love doing. Okay, right knee over right toe, hands at chest height, and re-rotate, but you keep your eyes right on me. 2, and maybe that means you don't rotate so far. That's okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, keep that knee lateral. 8, you start feeling that tight adductor. 9 and 10. So hopefully you're still tuning in. I try to save the best stuff for the end because I want people not to just do the first 10 minutes. The most important thing to recognize, if you want to maintain thoracic mobility when you're running, and you want it when you ride as well, if you're a cyclist, the bottom line is look at the right shoulder. If the right shoulder goes back, we need to have this space between the left hip and the right shoulder. The left hip can be inhibited by a tight adductor. The adductors have to be strong. So we are going to spend time throughout the entire winter building strength throughout the entire lower body specific to performance. So just know that when we do a lateral step with rotation, that's putting us long in this adductor and long through the abdominal cavity, long through the right shoulder. These things are all connected. And if movement and performance is easier, oh my God, it's so much more fun, right? Okay, so we're gonna go a big lateral step. We've already been here with the band. Now we're gonna keep the head forward and just go into rotation. Let the body just move, guys. We're gonna go 10 to the right and 10 to the left. Head stays forward. 1, 2, your landing foot is in. 3, it's pointing straight ahead. 4, 5, 6, 7, good. 8, 9, one more, and 10, good. Let's stay to the other side. Nice strong landing. Knee is underneath left shoulder. Rotate across it. 1, 2, head stays forward. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'm starting to feel that in my landing ankle. 8, 9, and 10. All right. Mobility Monday. Today is I think it's the 20th. Today is September 20th, or for longevity's sake, remember that today is late performance season. Normally we would be training for Kona World Championship with Ironman. We've got a lot of fall marathons for you runners. We've got some fun gravel racing happening. So the bottom line is we're at the late part of the year. So all of the strength that we've maintained through the entire summer of training and racing has really started to come into play against our competition. Those of you that are sticking close with us and doing the work, you should be feeling good right about now. You shouldn't be feeling those end of the summer doldrums of like fatigue or whatever. You should be getting stronger and more excited about what's to come next. So what's to come next? Starting in October, Mobility Monday will turn into Launch Monday, which means that it'll still maintain its attention to mobility, but we'll start bringing in lighter loads, maybe our number 1 and number 2 dumbbells or kettlebells, so that we can get into a really strong off season. All right. If you're watching me today and you want to do a little bit more work with me and with my team, please send me an email, erin@ECFIT Strength, and I'll set you up for a little trial and you can join our community and see how that melds with your performance world. But you guys, thank you so much for showing up for the live stream. Those of you that are watching it later, thanks for doing it within your day. I will get to all these questions and the chat box in just a minute. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate how you guys are staying on the journey. Peace and aloha.